take our seats.
Thank you very much, Reverend. So before I continue, a car key was left at the front desk. So I want us to check our bags, our wallets, our pockets. If you've misplaced your car key, please go to the front desk and you'll get it. So once again, on behalf of the Pediatric HIV Clinic in the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, I welcome all of you. And my name is Dr. Iceland Gloria Agri. I'll be your MC for the program. Before I continue, I'd want to introduce some very special people amongst our midst. That is not to say we are not all special. We are very, very special. So if you look to your right, you'll see some amazing personalities here. We have the acting chief executive officer of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. He is in the person of Dr. Frank Osu-Sechere. And I'm always excited when I introduce him because he is a pediatrician. And by all means, he passed through the Pediatric HIV Clinic. So we are very excited to have him here. Next, we also have the provost of the College of Health Sciences. He is in the person of Professor Yosin. Prof, you are welcome. And then we have the program manager of the National AIDS Control Program. He is in the person of Dr. Stephen A.C. Ado. Then we have our acting head of department of the Department of Child Health. She is in the person of Dr. Evelyn Amoa. And then we also have our very own Professor Pamela Goka. She is a consultant pediatrician and an associate professor of the University of Ghana Medical School. And she's one of the pioneers of the Pediatric HIV Clinic in the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. We also have some head of departments amongst us, more will be coming in. But here we have the one of the consultants, obstetrician and gynecologist. He is in the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital in the person of Professor Bonsafo. He's representing the head of department of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. So ladies and gentlemen, more of the introductions will be made along the way. But before then, I would want to introduce the chairperson for the program. So he is a visionary leader who has dedicated his career to transforming HIV care in Ghana. He is the driving force behind the Ghana's National AIDS Control Program, where his innovative leadership as program manager has helped strengthen our nation's response to HIV/AIDS. Under his guidance, Ghana has made remarkable strides in expanding access to antiretroviral therapy and improving outcomes for people living with HIV. His deep commitment to public health, combined with his extensive expertise in HIV program management, has been instrumental in shaping policies that have touched countless lives across the nation. Some of these notable contributions include expanding access to HIV services, improving HIV data management, advocating for the rights of people living with HIV, and capacity building and training. As we gather to mark the significant milestone, 20 years of antiretroviral therapy, there is no one better suited to chair these proceedings than Dr. Stephen A.C. Ado. His wealth of experience and an unwavering dedication to fighting HIV/AIDS makes him an ideal leader for this momentous occasion. Please join me in welcoming our chairperson for this program, Dr. Stephen A.C. Ado.
Thank you very much, MC. Thank you for those words, kind words. In fact, it has put me in the mood of voting, because it looks like if maybe these were, I use this to stand, I should get some votes. And I want to thank God Almighty for that, because the most important thing for me, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished personalities gathered here, acting CEO, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, provost of the college, Professor Yelson, and my own mentor in pediatric care, my teacher at a point, and the technical working group member, therefore an advisor in the program, Professor Bamila Goka, and the acting head. I declare that all the actings will become substantive in Jesus' name. And all of us, distinguished persons and organizers, and all the hard-working staff at the Child Health Clinic, and the rest of Ghana, because we are live, the rest of Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and all the stakeholders in the national response against HIV, I bring you greetings on behalf of the Director General of the Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health. And I want to thank you for this privilege to serve. When it comes to work, it's about service to God. And I was very excited today when I was having my devotion from Colossians chapter 3 and 23. And the focus and the admonishment was that whatever you do, do it with all your heart, as if unto the Lord Jesus Christ. And then I noticed that when you speak for people, not for yourself, you should do it as unto God. You have to be a voice for the voiceless. And one group of people who are very vulnerable and they are voiceless are the children. And so any call to duty for the sake of the children, for me, is a noble call. And it's a worthy call. And that is the reason why I wholeheartedly accept to take this responsibility. It's been 21 years since we started antiretroviral therapy. Can you imagine that since we identified the first case of HIV in 1986, it took us 18 years before we were able to put anybody on antiretroviral therapy? And usually when it starts like this, we focus on the adults. But thanks be to God that when Kolebu started delivering antiretroviral therapy, the following year, 20 years down the line, the children were also catered for. And as we speak now, they constitute about 5% of the number of people who are on treatment and the estimated population for HIV. We have come very far. We have made progress. HIV used to be a very scary thing, a death sentence, and it was almost automatic that any baby who was born to an HIV positive mother was going to be HIV by all means. And so gone were the days when mothers were abandoning their children in public latrines and so on and so forth, just because they thought that the babies were automatically HIV positive. But a lot of learning and research has taught us that even if you take 10 people, only 4 of them are likely to be HIV if they are born to an HIV positive mother. And through the hard work of our service providers and the program and our forebears, we've been able to scale up the elimination of mother-to-child transmission program from just a few sites, from Atua Gomenya, to almost 7,000 sites and counting now. Because of that, no pregnant woman must come to a facility without being tested and getting antiretroviral therapy if possible or if necessary. Every child who is also positive must be enrolled in care as early as possible. And these are the guidelines It used to be by a criteria, but thanks be to God that now, if we identify you today, you start medications today. Why am I going back? Because I want you to know that this celebration is not just something that one individual thought about. It's as a result of tangible progress, hard work, sacrifice of a great number of people, a great number of service providers for the sake of the children. Before I take my seat and I hand over to our moderator and MC, I want us to remember our children who, for one reason or the other, could not make it to today. Are you aware that some of our children are 20 years now when they started antiretroviral therapy? And I'm looking forward to some of them being exhibited for us to see because they are now adults. But unfortunately, some of them did not survive. We have overcome stigma and discrimination. We have achieved a lot to protect their interests. But despite all our efforts, some of them did not survive. And so please be on your feet and let's observe a moment of silence for these children who we've learned from, who were part of us. We consider them to be heroes and heroines also. And we want to, on this occasion of 20 years of our care to them, appreciate as they continue to rest in peace. May the Lord continue to have mercy and preserve them in the bosom of the Lord until we meet again with them. In Jesus' name, amen. Please take your seat. I thank you for this opportunity. I accept to be your servant and I hand over to the MC. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, PM, for that. Indeed, Ebenezer, thus far has the Lord brought us. So I also want to acknowledge the presence of Professor Peter Popolampo. He is the head of department of the Infectious Disease Center, Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Also in our midst is Dr. Fred Nana Poku. He is the Director of Technical Services, Ghana AIDS Commission. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. So even though we may think we know why we are here, it's always good and proper that you really know why you are here. And to do that, this honors is a consultant pediatrician, an infectious disease specialist pediatrics, a senior lecturer in the University of Ghana Medical School. She's the head of the Pediatric HIV Clinic, and she's been in the clinic 16 years and counting. She started as a resident, and she's now the head of the Pediatric HIV Clinic. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, shall we welcome Dr. Joycelyn Asemendami.
Thank you, Aislinn, and good morning. To our distinguished chairperson, Dr. Stephen Ayisi Addo, the Provost of the College of Health Sciences, Professor Alfred Yosen, the Acting CEO of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Frank Owusu-Sechere, our Acting HOD of the Department of Child Health, Dr. Evelyn Amour, to the heads of departments, other unit heads, our partners, our special guests, our esteemed colleagues, families, and friends, good morning. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to this special occasion as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Pediatric HIV Clinic here at Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Today, we come together to mark 2 decades of service, reflect on the journey, celebrate the milestones, and look forward to the future with hope and determination. When this clinic started 20 years ago, it was born out of a vision to ensure that children living with HIV receive not just medical care, but holistic support to thrive and achieve their full potential. Over the years, this vision has become a reality that we can all be proud of. Our clinic is more than just a healthcare facility. It's a sanctuary of compassion, resilience, and empowerment. It is where children and their families, they find medical treatment. We understand them, we encourage them, and we support them to live fulfilling lives. Today's program is a testament to the work that has been done and the impact of our clinic's efforts viewed through these various lenses. Our services, from prevention to treatment, counseling and support, our clinic has provided comprehensive care tailored to the unique needs of children and adolescents living with HIV and those affected by HIV. Our research and collaborations has indeed kept us at the forefront of pediatric care, improving outcomes and shaping policies beyond these walls. Our creativity, the crafts and talents that are displayed by the children, are a reminder that their lives are not defined by HIV. They are full of potential, joy, and creativity that inspires us daily. So I encourage you to take some time to visit the exhibition hall, admire the wonderful works on display, and if you can, purchase one or more items. Let's celebrate their talents and remind them that their voices and creativity matter. We are also here to acknowledge the people who have made this journey possible, and especially those who continue to ensure its success. There is, however, still much to be done. We must ensure that every child has access to care, tackle stigma, strive to eliminate vertical transmission. We are proud to say that this year, out of all the 112 exposed infants, we have had 2 positives, only 2 positives, but we are looking forward to 0 positives. Thank you. We must also simultaneously drive innovations that will ultimately bring an end to the HIV epidemic. Thus, as we celebrate this milestone, we reaffirm our purpose to provide holistic care that addresses not only the physical needs of children living with HIV, but also their emotional, social, and developmental needs. Remember, we are pediatricians. We need to push the boundaries of knowledge through research that informs policy and improves outcomes for children and families worldwide. We need to advocate for equity, ensuring that no child, regardless of their background, is left behind in the fight against HIV. And we need to create a community of resilience and creativity where children can express themselves like they've done today, thrive, and dream beyond their challenges. Today, as we gather to reflect on the journey of our pediatric clinic, I want to take a moment to appreciate the true heroes of this story, the children. These children inspire me every day. They face challenges that no child should have to endure. The needles, I'm terribly afraid of needles. The pills, the hospital visits, and the bouts of illness that sometimes sap their strength. They experience pain, both physical and emotional, yet their spirits remain unbroken. I see the courage every time they sit patiently for a blood draw or ask questions about their medication, trying to understand how to take care of their health. Their determination inspires me to work harder and ensure that they receive the care and opportunities they deserve. To the children, I want to say thank you. Thank you for showing us what it means to be strong, to be brave, and to be full of hope. You are not defined by the challenges you face, but by the courage with which you face them. To conclude, I want to thank you all for being here today to share this moment of reflection and hope. Your presence is a powerful affirmation of the importance of the work we do and the lives we touch. Let us move forward together, united by the belief that every child deserves a chance to live a healthy and meaningful life. Welcome once again, and may this program inspire us all to strive for a brighter tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Dr. Dami. I want to continue acknowledging some people. So also present is Dr. Frimpong Befi. She's the head of Department Tema General Hospital, the Department of Pediatrics. We also want to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Adraina Asante. She is also an infectious disease specialist pediatrics, and she is also from the Ridge Hospital, or the Greater Accra Ridge Hospital. Also present is the Pediatric Society of Ghana president. I call her Her Excellency, Dr. Hilda Mantibia Boy. And then we also have Professor Angela Ofuriata of the Department of Psychiatry, and she's also a member of Sankofa, which is a research group involved in pediatric HIV disclosure. You are very much welcome, ma'am. And then we also welcome Prof. Lorna Awo Reina. She is a pediatric oncologist. She is also an associate professor in the University of Ghana Medical School. She is also one of the pioneers of the pediatric HIV clinic of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And she is also one of those who really established this clinic. And out of this clinic, birthed several clinics. So if you are here and you did pediatrics in Kolebu as a house officer, as a resident, I'm sure you know Professor Lorna Reina, because you might have met her either on the oncology ward or in the pediatric HIV clinic. Prof, please, you are very much welcome. So next, we would want to receive a solidarity message from the Provost of the College of Health Sciences, Prof. Yosin.
Thank you very much, Madam MC, Chair of the occasion, Acting Chief Executive, senior members of the college and the university, doctors here present, all health workers, pharmacists, nurses, lab scientists, and all the members of the healthcare team, psychologists, you are all welcome. I am extremely delighted to be here this morning. I told everybody I have a meeting in Legon at 10, but I couldn't just leave. I said I have to be here. I've sent apologies beforehand so that after this one I can go. It's so important and happy to see you here and some of my teachers here present. Prof. Buka, Prof. Rena, Prof. Ofuriata. I was telling Chief Executive, who happens to be my classmate anyway, that this clinic started when we were doing house job, when we were house officers, and then that's when it started. And I also happen to have the privilege of working at the fevers unit. And I must say, probably that was my best house officer rotation. I was there, I did so well, I did so many lumbar punctures, so that sometimes when people needed lumbar puncture, they come to call me. We were practicing it and doing all the labs for them. And we see how far we have come, thanks to the effort that you have put in, and also the national effort, saving the next generation. And we are almost getting there. As Dr. Dami said, out of the many, only 2 were positive. And we want to come to a time where there will be no positive at all, getting to 0 and saving the next generation. We are also happy to have the AIDS Commission here, which is the governmental policy level, for all the effort and continue the advocacy for all of us. So we wish you the best. 20 years in the life of any organization is not a mean achievement. And we wish to say by the next 20 years, HIV will almost be non-existent in children, thanks to the work that you do. So thank you very much, and I wish you a very great occasion this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Yosin. So next, we are going to have a presentation, 2 Decades of Hope, the journey of Kolebu Teaching Hospital's Pediatric HIV Clinic from the year 2004 to 2024. And this presentation will be done by Dr. Ajwa Afrani, who is also a consultant pediatrician in the Department of Child Health, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and one of our consultants in the Pediatric HIV Clinic, and Dr. Matilda Kumaho, who is a specialist pediatrician and also a fellow in training in pediatric infectious diseases.
Good morning, everyone. We are so excited to have you all here. And we're going to take you through a journey. It's going to be a story of 20 years of healing, 2 decades of hope. It will be a visual journey through Kolebu's HIV pediatric care, and it will be done by Matilda and myself. So we are ready to start. So while we're waiting, it's exciting that 20 years, where was everybody 20 years back? I mean, 20 whole years, so many things have happened. And it's important that we tell the stories. You need to recount the stories for legacy. Tell people what happened. Let them know. We need to learn from our mistakes. We need to build on. We need to make progress. So it's important that stories are told. Let's not bury our stories. Let's tell people, let's share with people, and then let's see how we can move things forward. So we are here to present the story to you. Fantastic. All right. So Matilda, will you take them through the outline?
Yes. Yes. So we'll go through a brief introduction to the HIV clinic. Then we'll also show pictures of the pioneers of our clinic since its inception. We'll also show us some current staff and the scenes of the clinic that we run every week. Then we'll take you through the timeline. So we'll take you back to memory lane and show you how the clinic started and where we have gotten as at now. Some researches have been done in the clinic, so we'll also give you some insight into that. And of course, we have challenges, so we would also let you know of our challenges. And I'm sure we would get a lot of help at the end of the day.
By the way, Matilda, when did you start working at the clinic?
That was about 10 years ago.
Wow.
When I just moved in as a medical officer. What about you?
So me, it's like 2014.
Oh, that was 14 years ago.
14 years ago. Wow. We are
That's
not
a lot
that
of
way.
time. No.
All right. So
Yes.
in the beginning was a word, and there was void, there was darkness, there was no hope for pediatric HIV care. So as PM said, the first patient was diagnosed. So what was happening to the people? Where were they going to? There was no hope until the African Network for the Care of Children Affected by HIV/AIDS, ANECA. So this is an African association of pediatrics experts who met. And if you look closely, very closely, let's zoom this up for us to see. Can you see someone? A prize for someone who can spot. The person is in this room. Please, if you are the one, can you raise your hand? Can you? So that's Prof. Rena sitting there. Prof. Rena.
Yes, that's Prof. Rena right there.
So Prof. Rena wrote a letter to the hospital. You see how it's good to keep the letter she wrote to the CEO. Enclosed is for the establishment of a pediatric HIV clinic service at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. It has been discussed with senior members and approved. Okay. A pediatric HIV clinic will be started this July. This clinic will be held on Wednesdays from 11:30 a.m. onwards at the Department of Child Health. I'll be most grateful for your support that the hospital could offer. Thank you. Yours sincerely, Dr. Lorna Renner. And she whole proposal, in fact, this is what she wrote. This is the proposal. This is the initial draft. Whole proposal. Need to establish clinical care department. So let's look at the pioneers of the clinic. Let's see who we have. Over to you, Tilly.
Yes. So I'm sure by now we all can identify, have here displayed Professor Lorna Renner. She had a vision to start the clinic, and so she's one of the pioneers of the clinic. Then again, we have Professor Goka. Prof, please give us a wave. Thank you. Yes. So they were the first consultants of the clinic. Yes. Oh, yes. The first consultants of the pediatric HIV clinic. Then we have now the clinical lead of the HIV clinic, Dr. Joycelyn Esimindami. This was in her days. Yes. Yes. Still looking very beautiful. Thank you so much as well. Then who can, yes, Dr. Lomuti. Yes. She was also at the time a resident doctor at the pediatric HIV clinic. Then who can identify who we have here? Auntie Obidia. Yes,
Where's Auntie Obidia?
Pharmacist.
Yes,
yes.
Her.
We all call her Auntie Obidia. In fact, when you come to child health and you don't know Auntie Obidia, then you didn't come there at all. Yes, thank you so much, Auntie Obidia. Then we also have our beloved Samson. Yes. Samson was with us for a very long time.
Oh, he's outside.
And he was the one taking all the samples. In fact, call him for the most difficult IV line. He would get it for you. God bless you all for your labor of love. And then Kakra was the first data manager we had for the clinic. He's currently with the Policy Planning and Monitoring and Evaluation Division of the Ghana Health Service. Yes. Thank you all so much. Your labor of love has yielded great fruits, and we are all testament to that. Yes, thank you.
All right, so let me just tell you something about the clinic. So you've heard, it was established in 2004, and patients are primarily referred from primary and secondary facilities within the area, and then also departments within the hospital. And we see about averagely 30 patients per day, and we do a lot of writing. In fact, that's the clinic that your pen will actually get finished. I mean, you finish a pen, yes, but it's all for the good of the children. We're writing in white books, in green books, and doing so much documentation, but it's very important. And it's run by consultants, as she has said, and we have infectious disease fellows in training. We have 4 of them at the moment, yes, or 3? 4 of them, yes. And we also have the residents, which rotates from the Ghana College and West Africa, medical officers, house officers, and we also have a pediatric nurse specialist who's here, that's Ejewa. Yes. So we don't work in isolation. We have a multidisciplinary team. We have dedicated nurses, public health nurses, psychologists, pharmacists, and we'll let you know who they are later. And the TB clinics also run alongside with the HIV. You know, being HIV brother and sister. So we, so we the same staff that see the TB clinic also see the HIV clinic. So who do we see? We have 2 groups of people we see. The children living with HIV, those who are infected, and then the retro-exposed. That is those who are through the system called Prevention of Mother-to-Child Transmission, PMTCT. Okay, Matilda, let me tell them about the services and you give them a bit of data.
Okay.
So what services do we provide at the clinic? Clinical care, treatments, care, counseling, we have psychological support, we have nutritional support. It's a whole multidisciplinary team. So can you tell them a bit about PMTCT since
Yes.
some people may not know much
Yes.
about it?
MTCT simply means prevention of mother-to-child transmission. So this actually is part of a four-pronged approach of preventing HIV, which includes primary prevention, where we do not even want the mothers to be infected with HIV. And then if they are infected, then want them to plan the pregnancy to avoid unintended pregnancies whilst they have the disease. And then also, after the children are born with HIV, they are put on post-exposure prophylaxis to prevent the child getting the disease. And then also, for those who have been infected, it's a holistic approach where we cater for the mother, the child, and then their families. You give them support whilst they are on treatment. And this has been shown to really decrease the incidence of HIV, especially in mothers transmitting it to their children. So that is basically the four-pronged approach, which the PMTCT is part of. That we have our clinic since its inception. So we have seen over 2,000 babies or children come through the clinic. As you can see, the ratios are almost the same, male to female ratios. Since Kolebu started running the HIV clinic, only 48 of them have come out positive. I mean, those who are exposed. So we have really, really done a good job. Thank you to everyone. And yes, can't thank you enough. One else who has been through the clinic one way or the other. Yes, need out. We have a little over 200 who we are following up currently at the clinic. Okay, so Dr. Franny, you take us through the timeline down to when we...
Okay, so the timeline. So, as you know, we started the clinic in 2004. So by 5 years, when the clinic started, we had 176 clients on treatment. Then the clinic grew gradually, 2010, 2015. How many have passed to the clinic? How many people here have passed to the clinic? Yes. So people like you passed to the clinic. Yes, I should put all your names there, but the space wasn't enough. Yes. Then the magic drug, DTG, was discovered 2019, dolutegravir. That's a nice, interesting name, dolutegravir. Yes, it does the magic, just how the name sounds. Yes, it's doing magic. And let's put our hands together for DTG. It is doing so much for our patients, and we appreciate the efforts of the research which is going into medication. And currently, as we have about 284 active clients. A bit about the antiretroviral therapies. So thankfully, HIV medication is free. NACP is a program drug. So the patients do not pay for it, but they will pay to come to the hospital, even though we say it's free, but they pay to come, right? And the interesting thing about HIV is that the guidelines are always changing. You know, one thing residents don't like that every year there's a change in guidelines. They are trying to memorize, but things are changing, so you have to change. But currently, you know, we used to have cutoff points when your CD4 is this, all these things. But thanks to research, it has shown that everybody, once you are infected, you should be on medication. No, so everybody's high risk now. Everybody can transmit. So everybody's on medication, regardless of your viral load. And sorry, back to this. So this diagram is showing Yes. So this is a picture showing what the drugs do. So you see the tube here, over here. So this is how a test tube looks before ART, full of the virus. But once you take antiretroviral therapy, initially it used to be 6 months, but now with DTG, even up to 3 months, even a few weeks, you can be virologically non-suppressed and non-detected. So when we say non-detected, you still have the virus in your blood, but it depends on the machine you're using. So we have levels of detectability. Some machines can detect up to 20 copies per mil, some up to 50. But we're saying that your viral load is so low that the machine cannot detect it. So you still are infected, but we say you're non-detected, and that's what we're striving for. So we say U is equal to U, undetectable is equal to untransmissible. So if you have HIV and the viral load is undetectable in your body, it's not likely that you transmit. That's why by 2030, we're going to say that we're going to eliminate HIV. Shall we clap for that? So Tilly, can you take them through some of the scenes and
Yes,
start
so
the clinic?
we all know the famous Mother's Hostel. Oh, sorry. So sorry, this is our child health block, the child health department, the block, showing part of the clinic area. It's in the corner. Yes. Get a bigger picture. Yes. Then these are consultants who we currently have at the clinic. Dr. Joycelyn Esimen Dami, who is here with us. Dr. Evelyn Amwa, our acting HOD. She's also with us at the clinic. Then yours truly, Dr. Ajua Afrani. Yes, these are the consultants. Now that's me. Yes, also at the clinic. Then we have Dr. Hagan. Also, yes, thank you. Then Dr. Gabrielle Obin Cranston. So we are all fellows in training, pediatric infectious diseases. Then yes, our MC1. Yes, Dr. Aislinn Agri. Yes. Then, yes, of course, we stated earlier on that our clinic runs a multidisciplinary approach. So we have psychologists also amongst us. This is psychologist Yasmin. She's also here with us. Then this is Edwin. Okay, Edwin is not here with us, but this is Edwin. They are all very well known at the child health department. Then from Obidia, Auntie Obidia, yes. She's our go-to person, always. Then yes, the nurse specialist, Ejewa Ekufu. She's also there with us at the clinic. Yes, then how can we forget Teresa? Teresa is always mobilizing and making work so efficient for us at the clinic. Yes, she's also here with us. So these are all clinical pictures in the consulting room. It's a very busy clinic, but we make it fun as much as we can. Then now the Mother's Hostel. Yes, this is where we do our adherence counseling and testing. So at the end of the day, yes, everyone who has been through special clinic or the HIV clinic has enjoyed, well, it's not a plate. You won't have it in a plate like this. Yes, but you would have some sticks of kebab with a drink. Not necessarily bitter malt though. Yes, but you'd have it with a drink. We do a lot of writing and it's tiring. So this comes in very handy, very refreshing at the end of the day after a hard day's work. Yeah, so these are all pictures. We do have gatherings like this during festive season. So this was one of the Christmas parties that we had for at the clinic. Then this from Obidia having visitations to some of the schools where the children are currently. Then yes, and the children love pharmacist Obidia, Auntie Obidia. So during one of her birthdays, they gave a surprise visit with a cake. So as you can see, she's cutting her birthday cake. Yes, thank you. Yes, so this was a meeting at Maclean Hotel, one of the DTG, the Wonder Drag. Yes, one of the meetings that was held recently at the hotel.
Yes. So Sankofa, Our MC
Sankofa.
mentions Sankofa. So Sankofa is a multi-site pediatric collaboration, and their focus is on adherence. They've been doing so much research. In fact, we have a place outside where we've outlisted some of the research. So these are some of the meetings they've had, and we can see Prof. Angela Oforiata over here. You can see her here, and we can see her here, and we can see, look at Prof. Latte. Look at Prof. Latte here. Yes. Prof. Latte. This is Prof. Renner. This is Prof. Entry. Yes, who else is here? Yes, and guess who this is? Dr. Dami.
Dr. Dami, yes.
Yes, yes.
Dr.
yes.
Dami, yes.
Okay. Right, so this is, okay, it's very small here, but you can see Prof. Angela here too. And then here, she can't be missed. Yeah, she's here. And this is Dr. Dami here. This is me over here. All right. So let's look. So the clinic, as we said, is for care, it's for research. There's been so much growth. So we have some abstract outside, but this is just a list of some of the studies that have been done in the clinic. 2013, Sankofa, and Beatrice, she did her dissertation. That's her topic. Dr. Gladys also did her dissertation. I also did my dissertation in the clinic. So all these abstracts are outside. You can have a read outside. I also did my MPH dissertation in the clinic. Dr. Dami also did some work in the clinic. Prof. Kenu, currently we have a DCG study ongoing. Dr. Dami, you see, so we are producing in the clinic. Yes, that's where we grow. And this is Dr. Frimpoma is a pharmacist who did her dissertation for Ghana College, also from the clinic. This is a medical student I supervised. William, you also did it in the clinic. This is Evangeline also. This was also a dissertation. Dr. Dami is currently doing studies. Dr. Dami currently doing studies. So we are there for life. So in 20 years to come, can't imagine how good it will be. And they've been published. They are all things that we strive and we publish. So you can find them outside. So yes, so on Monday, so this is just to summarize what we did the whole week. On Monday, we had a fantastic webinar. We have the recording, so look for the recording through PSG. We had a YouTube link with these fantastic panelists. On Tuesday, that's yesterday, we had a sensitization at the maternal and the child health OPD. And we are jumping with joy for our warriors, celebrating life, resilience, and hope at the Pediatric HIV Clinic. We are taking a leap towards zero HIV infection in children. So now there's a debate to see who jumped the highest. There are several schools of thought. It depends. Gabby is the tallest, so she's out of the contest. Dr. Dami has a very dainty jump, and she's wearing two-inch heels. I think she wins. Anyway, so as with every clinic, there are challenges. There are medical challenges. We have to deal with virological failure. Those who have viral loads greater than 1,000, the resistance. There are also adherence-related challenges because our people are dependent on their caregivers. Your caregiver dies, is a problem. Your caregiver, she won't give you medication, there's a problem. If you are orphaned, there's a problem. We have so many problems with adherence. You also have psychosocial challenges, dealing with family dynamics, disclosure. When do you disclose? How do you disclose? We have to deal with all of these. And finally, we have resource system challenges tracking loss to follow up. As I said, NACP gives free drugs, but it doesn't give them money to come to the clinic. You have to take this medication with food. Who buys the food? So when we say medication is free, we haven't solved everything. There's a systemic problem that we have to solve, the poverty. Now I'm sounding like a politician now. Let me continue. So we can't end without acknowledging all the children of the clinic, those who have passed, those who are living, those in school, those who are making it. And please, there are paintings outside. You saw those. Those paintings were done by a very own, one of our clients. And he's selling these paintings. Please go and buy everything. Don't leave here without buying something. That is his God-given talent, and let's appreciate that there's, in fact, HIV right now is a chronic manageable disease. It's just like HIV, diabetes. In fact, people actually prefer HIV because, I mean, once you take your medication and you're well, you are suppressed, you don't have a problem. It's very manageable. So people are living, and now in the older adolescents, and you're thinking about chronic, they're living longer, so they're thinking of other issues too. So we thank all the children, all the staff who have worked in the clinic. Want to thank the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, Ghana AIDS Commission. NACP has really been a solid group behind us. NACP has given us a lot of sponsorship for this program. Program manager is at just a call away. We just call him. We don't book an appointment. We just call him, and he's there. So we want to appreciate Dr. Ado for all your support for us. And Indos, as sponsors for today, we acknowledge your support. Indos is always there for us. And our Department of Child Health. In fact, where would we be if we didn't have a Department of Child Health? I wouldn't be here. So we appreciate the department and all the support. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you, and congratulations to us for 20 years of breaking barriers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Frani and Dr. Kumaho, for that presentation. As for the kebab, it's a motivation, something. Okay, so we want to continue, but first I want to acknowledge also the presence of Lieutenant Colonel Japan Osei and Squadron Adeline Asante Kobia, both representing the 37 Military Hospital. We also have active Chief Nursing Officer of the Department of Child Health, Madam Harriet Clufield. And then we have some DCNOs from the Department of Child Health. We have Auntie Ayo, Auntie Juliet, Madam Mercy, and Auntie Grace. You're all welcome. So next, we want to continue with our solidarity message. We received a message from the acting Chief Executive Officer of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Afterwards, we'll receive a message from our Technical Director from the Ghana AIDS Commission, and then a representative from the National AIDS Commission, National AIDS Control Program, sorry. So it will happen in that order. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam MC. Dr. Chair, permit me to stand on already established protocol. And let me confess, I just didn't want Adjoa and Matilda's presentation to end. I'm not sure about you though, but if you expect me to say DTJ in full, forget it. You know where I come from. I still want to have my tongue, and I won't give you that pleasure, of laughing at me throughout. And then I also beat myself in a way. Matilda, Janet, they stayed with me at Piku for God knows how long. I thought I could sway them with pizza and stuff, not knowing kebab and better malt could do the trick. Oh dear me, what was I thinking? Anyway, so just as a medical student going through pediatrics, I didn't know anything about HIV clinic. Then I went to internal medicine, but for Prof, I would have said I wasted my time there, Prof, you didn't hear that, so. Then I came back as a house officer, then I came back as a medical officer. They say there's a special clinic. Which animal is special? Of course, we've always had special clinics, but there's a special clinic, and I was posted there. And we were using those blue books. I think nothing defines torture better. After they say, well, there are clinical criteria and virological criteria, CD4 percentage, CD4 count, and all those stuff. And then after you've gone through all those, you have to wait for Professor Lorna Rena to come and validate what you have done. Oh, dear me. So we didn't like, maybe I wasn't good enough, to do the pediatric infectious disease. So it was kind of a bother to me. But I remember when I was a medical student, community health, I was given an essay to write. I think we all remember we were given some essays. And mine was, should HIV mothers breastfeed or not? Then you have to give reasons. And there's something called internet that had just been, around. For those of you who think I'm a small boy, So I went to, that's why you have to go across the street for cafe. And then went to Google and did a presentation. And at the end, there was a standing ovation. And it's like, okay, you guys believe in this nonsense? Because I don't. Because they said that you should still breastfeed if you had HIV, because the diarrhea disease and other things that may kill the children will be protected if they get those antibodies and the rest from the mothers. And when I read it, I didn't agree, but that turned out to be the position. So I came back to the special clinic, and then gradually we got the antiretroviral agents coming up. Then MTCT came in, PMTCT came in. And as GMA member, I happened to be on the country coordinating mechanism that did the proposal and those things to get to Global Fund to get the antiretrovirals. Then we had this challenge of, okay, we are now a middle income country, so we are supposed to pay for our own thing. Global Fund was going to withdraw that support, and there was a hue and cry about it. Eventually, we continued, and that was when we looked at manufacturing the medications in Ghana. And fast forward 20 years, here we are. But as Kolebu Teaching Hospital, I think the letter that Professor Lorna Rena wrote to Dr. Anand then, asking about support. If, Joycelyn, you are going to, or you are thinking of writing such a letter, forget it. The answer is yes. You still have the support of the teaching hospital. And if there is anything we can do as management to help move the frontiers of the clinic forward, you only need to ask. On this note, on our 20th anniversary celebration of the clinic, I want to say, let the sky not even be able to contain us. Thank you and congratulations. And please forgive me, I have another program, so if you see me sneaking out, it is not that I don't value what you're doing at all. Forgive me.
When you have your teachers and when you have your teachers and everyone sitting in front of you, do you think it's an easy feeling? But we'll rock it. Anyway, so good morning, everybody. Mr. Chairman, glad he's still here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, I bring you warm greetings from the Paediatric Society of Ghana. And indeed, I can confidently say, let's say 95% confidence interval that all of you here are members of the Paediatric Society of Ghana. True or false? Okay, so we are in the right place. So we are together, not just as pediatricians or people working in pediatrics, but as a united front in the fight against pediatric HIV. On behalf of the Paediatric Society of Ghana, I extend our deepest solidarity to all families, caregivers, and children affected by this condition. And as we commemorate our 20th anniversary, it's a moment of great pride and reflection for all of us. Today, we not only honor our journey, but then we also honor the achievements that we are seeing.
And we also have the opportunity to shine the light on the critical issues that continue to affect the many children who are affected by this condition. And our theme, breaking barriers and building futures. 2 decades of excellent pediatric HIV care is apt. You've seen the people who are at the fore, you've seen the people who started the clinic, and so excellence is definitely what we have. And together as members of the Pediatric Society of Ghana, we stand united to raise awareness, advocate for change and support for the children and families who are impacted by this condition. We all know the effects that HIV/AIDS can have on children, especially if no care is given. And therefore, it's important that we have the Kolebu Teaching Hospital being a pioneer in this and doing so much in the treatment and management of children who are affected by this condition. As we reflect on the progress that we have made, we must also recognize the work that still lies ahead. Awareness, creation, education, and advocacy are crucial. We must continue to educate our communities about prevention, treatment of early diagnosis, as well as stigma prevention. We stand in solidarity with all those living with HIV and commit ourselves to providing passionate care. Our health you don't like it? Our healthcare must Our healthcare system must be equipped to address the unique needs of these children. And I'm excited that the acting CEO has pledged his support for the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. But again, we have the program manager for the NACP here, so I know that nationally we are good too. Let me just remind everyone about the call to action that the program manager of the NACP shared with us during the meeting that we had on Monday. It is that we need to accelerate efforts to achieve UN's 95-95-95 target. We need to expand ART enrollment nationwide, ensure triple elimination, strengthen advocacy for human rights and anti-stigma policies, and for the improved data capture and visibility for pediatric acceleration plan. Also to be able to scale up for mother-baby pair. In closing, let us remember that our work does not end here. It is a continuous journey that requires dedication and compassion, which we can say we have, and our renewed commitment to this cause. Together, we can advocate for policies that protect and uplift all children in Ghana. Let's take the right path. Let's end AIDS together, and let's step up prevention efforts. AICO, Department of Child Health and its partners, cheers to 20 more years. Congratulations.
Hello. Good morning. Yes, I bring greetings from the Ghana AIDS Commission. Glad to be here. And I'm glad to be in the midst of some of my great teachers. Prof. Reina, maybe she might not remember me so well because I was a quiet, reserved, not reserved, but it's good to be here and to appreciate all the work that is going on. I want to recognize my good friend, young man, Rabbi, Dr. Isiado, who is the program manager of the Ghana National AIDS Control Program. In fact, Provost is also gone. He's also a good friend. And then the acting chief executive. There are a lot of people here. Hey, where is my schoolmates? Obidia, we grew up together. We went to the same primary school. Shall we give her a hand? And it's good to be together once again. You are doing a great work. We appreciate how it is. Though I didn't pass through the house officers training in Kolebu, because immediately after school, I was posted to Ridge Hospital, where I did my house job. I know it's very difficult dealing with kids, especially when they come in with FTT. FTT, you can't even find where the veins are. Have to sweat all your blood out before you find a vein to even put in some lines to save children. But you are doing a very great work. Shall we clap for ourselves for what I want to do? But I also want to say that our work does not end in Kolebu. I'm so happy when we say only 2 of the exposed babies had HIV. We want to get to 0, as has been said, all over. But it also goes beyond Kolebu. I'm just wondering how the experiences and the job that is going on here can be extended to other parts of the country. Unfortunately, we're having a lot of new cases among kids. Unfortunately, we are having a lot of kids not having their medication. Last year alone, more than 1,398 children died of AIDS-related causes. We had more than 1,600 new HIV infections in the country. Our work goes beyond Kolebu. Let's think outside the box. Let's look forward and ensure that the whole country, not only Kolebu, pediatric units, has no new HIV infections. And I know we can do it. I bring greetings from the Ghana AIDS Commission, the Director General, and I'm just here to encourage us to say that, yes, we've come very far. From the time we were here 20 years ago, more than 20 years, I mean, it was difficult to get even medication. Currently, we sometimes have some shortages, but I think moving forward, we'll be able to fill in all these. With your help and the help of the government, we'll be able to bring in all the needed medications to ensure that no child is left behind. And I'm so glad there is also some research going on, because these are very important. It helps us to formulate good and relevant policies that will bring about changes that we all deserve or we all want to see. One of the speakers was talking about the dolutegravir feeding. It's also it's a challenge. We keep wondering whether children should be fed with breast milk, because the data shows that it is within the breastfeeding period that more transmission occurs. When you look at the first 6 months, what occurs after 6 months, between 6 to 18 months, it's about 2 or 3 times. Last year, mother-to-child transmission for the first 6 months was around 5%, 6%. Then at the end of 18 months, it's about 12.6%, which is about twice that. So what happens between that period? So more research, more understanding will help us change and formulate very good policies so that our children will be free of HIV, so that we have a generation that is free of HIV. Thank you so much. We pledge our support to the pediatric clinic at Kolebu and all over the country. And I'm praying that our doors are also open, please. And I'm happy somebody was saying he gets to my friend, my brother, AC easily. Please also call me. I need your calls. That will also make me happy. We are also free, we are open, and do come to the Ghana AIDS Commission, and all the needed assistance that we can also give. Thank you, and have a very nice day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Poku. I will certainly take you up on that. Okay, so next we are going to have a drama. And I would let Auntie Obi tell us more about this drama. After the drama, we'll continue our solidarity messages. We'll receive a solidarity message from Professor Bonsafo, who is acting HOD of the Department of ONG Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and Dr. Evelyn Amwa, who is also the acting HOD, Department of Child Health, Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
So good morning once again. So we have a short drama on adherence. I want everybody to be attentive and watch. Thank you.
Next patient, please come in.
Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, madam. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
This was the name of your child.
She's called Sewa.
Sewa. Sewa, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. Please, what's your relationship to Sewa?
I'm Sewa's mother.
Okay. So you're Sewa's mother. Okay. So, do you have any complaints today?
No.
No complaints. Okay. So I know from your records that Sewa is 8 years old. She has been on the medications for about 2 years now.
Yes.
So no complaints today. The medications, are you giving it to Sewa?
Yes, doctor. She takes the medications very well.
Okay, that's good. So Sewa, do you have any complaints today? You don't have any complaints. You are fine. Okay. So let me quickly examine you. Let me see your hand. Let me see your mouth. Do you have any rashes? Everything is fine. Okay. So, Sewa's mommy, it's good that there's no complaint, and by examining Sewa is fine. But you know that when you come, we usually do some labs to find out how Sewa is doing. Like I always show you, once Sewa is taking the medicine, it will suppress the HIV, and there will be no problem. So it's very important that the medicine is being taken so that the HIV is suppressed. And the labs is what help us to know. And the last time you came, you did some lab, the viral load, do you remember?
Yes.
And it's very high. So what do you think is going on?
Doctor, I give her the medication, so she takes them very, very well. In fact, we take it at the same time.
Take it at the same time. Because if it's high, it could be because she's not taking the medication or the medication is not working.
Maybe it's that one. Maybe it's not working.
Okay. But before we say that it's not working, let's just be sure she's taking it well. Is that okay? So I'll be there and tell you to go and see her. And let's see how we can work to make sure that it's working, she's taking the medicine well. Is that okay? So let me call from Obidia. Hello, Auntie Obidia. Morning, hope you are doing well. I'm fine. I'm with Sewa and her mom at the consulting room. You know, Sewa, the one that the mother comes to sell us things. She came with her bag and everything. You know, we have to support them. We are doing a good job at that. We always want them to, also to be sufficient financially to take care. But I'm calling you because Sewa's viral load is still high. And I want you to help me to talk to her mother to make sure adherence is going on well. So they will soon be with you.
Please come at the clinic.
Okay. They are on their way. And so, Sewa, mommy, Auntie Obidia will be waiting for you. Eh? And when you are done with her, you can come back. Okay. Sewa, see you soon.
Kokoko.
Me, who is there?
Sewa mami.
Please come in. Hey, it's been a long time. How are you?
I'm fine, no, Auntie Obi.
You are fine. But the expression on your face is not showing you are fine.
It is the doctor.
What has the doctor done?
She says I don't give Sewa her medication, but I always do it. Even Sewa is my witness, so I give it to her all the time.
Sewa, you know something? You go and wait for mommy outside, okay? When I'm done talking with mommy, you also come in. So take this balloon and sit over there. Please put the chair there for Sewa so Sewa can wait for us. Sewa, mommy, you know we the health workers do not live in the same house with you. Hello. You know we the health workers do not live in the same house with you. Even if we do, we don't administer the medications to Sewa. The ARV she's taking is supposed to suppress the virus if she takes them well. You realize we always do a pill count, check Sewa's leftover medications, take our phones to do some calculations. All this is supposed to help us to know if Sewa is taking the medications well. But some of you mothers, you are so smart. You do your checks and balances before you come to the consulting room. You realize that the viral load the doctor talked to you about gives a better picture of what is happening in Sewa's blood. So when the results come and they are high, we have to be worried because it either means that Sewa is not adhering to the medications or the medications are not working, which I doubt it because of the research we have currently. You know, Sewa is so young and you have to take charge and monitor her. If we wake up tomorrow and there are no, if we wake up tomorrow and there is a cure and Sewa is not adhering to her medications and because of that Sewa is dead, there is nothing we can do for her in the grave. I lost a classmate of mine a year before Ghana had her first antiretroviral. You and Sewa are blessed to have come to meet these medications. So please give them well, as some, including my classmates, never had this opportunity. I know you are a single mother and doing your best for her, but you still have to put in a little more effort. Sewa is too young for us to disclose to her, for her to take charge over her life. It is your responsibility as a mother to monitor her, take her medications.
Oh, Auntie Obi, you know I do all that. You know how I have suffered since I was diagnosed with this deadly condition. Her father also passed away shortly after she was diagnosed. No family member has brought me a peso to take care of her. I take care of all the 3 children alone.
It is well. Just focus on her medications and Sewa will be fine. What time do you give her her medications?
At 7 a.m. in the morning after breakfast when she is preparing to go to school.
Does she take the medications herself or you give them to her?
Auntie Obipa, how can she take the medications herself? Of course, I give them to her myself.
So this time, you go and wait for me outside whilst I talk to Sewa. Sewa, please come over. Mommy will wait outside and you also come in, okay? So Sewa, mommy, please wait for me outside whilst I talk to Sewa.
Sewa, bring me my bag before you go to auntie.
Ma, you did not give me any bag. The bag is on your shoulder.
Oh, the stress is making me forget. You go to auntie, okay?
Okay.
Sewa, you are looking so beautiful today. Get up and let me look at your dress. Wow, please turn around. That is my girl. You are looking so sweet. Are you going to a party from here?
No, to the hospital.
Wow, and you are dressed like this. Sewa, look at these medications. I know you have been taking them. Please sit down. I know you have been taking them. Who gives the medications to you?
I take them myself.
Yourself?
Yes.
Why don't you allow mommy to give them to you?
Mommy leave the house before I wake up, so my sister reminds me to take them.
So what happens if your sister forgets to remind you?
On days we wake up late or my sister forgets to remind me, I don't take them.
Sewa, you know something? When you grow up big like me, what work would you like to do?
A nurse.
You can be a nurse, okay? You can be a nurse who take care of mommy and myself. But first of all, you have to take your medicine very well. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Now, Sewa mommy, please come. Our future nurse is not taking her medications well. And you are also not making time to take care of her. I told you the medications are taken every day. If you want Sewa to grow up to achieve her dreams of becoming a nurse, then you have to make a little more time for her.
Auntie Obi, my very important. How can I correct my mistake?
Okay. So how can we help you to administer the medication? And also prevent resistance. Today, the doctor gave you a prescription for 4 months. I'm reducing it to a month because you were not giving the medications well. If Sewa starts taking it well, I'll move to the 4 months and even to 6 months. Sewa, you said you want to be a nurse. You also have to take your medication very well when mommy gives them to you. And you become a nurse, okay? So you and mommy will go home now. Next time when you are coming for review, mommy has to bring you with all your medications left in the house. Have you heard? If mommy forgets, you remind her to carry all the medications. When you come, the same thing, we'll do the pill count. And if Sewa is doing well, we'll move to 4 months, as I said, then later on to 6 months. So thank you very much, Sewa and the mother.
Thank you.
So Sewa and the mother adhere to the medications, and at the next visit, the viral loads are now suppressed. Sewa is doing well. Our mom is doing well. Thank you all very much. And please note that we are all actors. Sewa is on her way to school for exams. So Sewa, all the best.
Thank you very much, Auntie Obidia and your team for that amazing drama. Indeed, this is really what happens in the clinic. And we are learning, are we not? Yes. So don't only take mother's word, don't take father's word, don't take auntie's word. Always let them excuse you and talk to the child. And the child will tell you amazing things. Okay, so before we continue, car number GV 62318. GV 62318. Please, you are needed at the car park. Right. So next we'll receive our solidarity messages from the acting HOD of the Department of Sengani, Prof. Bonsaf.
Thank you, Madam MC. Mr. Chair, permit me to stand on existing protocols and then. Initially I thought I was going to see my picture also because in 2006, 2007, I worked with Professor Rena at that corner. It was quite stressful, if you want to put it, because it used to be, I think, 11 thereabout to 12. And then also, that was the first time we did house job the second year. So we were forced to do our second year house job in Kolebu Teaching Hospital. So I did mine pediatrics because that was not what I didn't want to do pediatrics actually. But when I went there, I enjoyed pediatrics, and actually people thought I was going to do pediatrics because I was so good with certain line NICU babies and all that. I enjoyed my stay. But my problem was that I couldn't stand the cry of baby, babies cry. I can't stand it. Even when we cry, I still struggle, but I'm coping with it here. And so and at the same time, so I thought I was going to see our logo, Ops and Gynae logo, because remember, we give you all the babies. And I was so shocked that we didn't see our logo. And I mean, if you look at PMCT, we do all that. We help you with it. And so I bring you greetings from our department. Let me tell you what I have here. So on behalf of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, I extend our heartfelt congratulations and unwavering solidarity as you celebrate your 20th anniversary of the Child Health HIV Clinic, which I told you I also passed through. As the acting HOD, Department of Obs and Gynae, and somebody who has also worked in Kolebu for a long time and actually passed through the pediatrics unit, I'm deeply aware of the invaluable role your clinic plays in the fight against HIV, particularly in the pediatric population. Your pioneering role or effort have not only contributed to the health and well-being of countless children, but also has been a standard of care that is both compassionate and also comprehensive, as we all know. I was so impressed seeing the things you do and the things you've done so far with research and everything that is going on. This milestone actually marks 2 decades of exceptional service, as we can see, dedication and compassion towards children and families affected with HIV. Over the years, your clinic has not only provided the vital medical care, but has also nurtured hope, resilience, and a sense of community. So as we are all aware, your clinical work in HIV
in Kolebu Teaching Hospital and even beyond, as we know other people come from elsewhere, has actually been transformative, ensuring that the youngest and the most vulnerable among our population, that is the children, are actually taken care of. So as health professionals, as we all know, we understand the battle against HIV, as we know that it requires not only the expertise, clinical expertise, it demands compassion, as you do, innovation, and deep commitment, as we can see from what we have seen today. And the child, as we can see, the child health HIV clinic actually has all these qualities. And so we commend you greatly. And one thing I always say is that pediatric department and our department, Obs and Gynae, like a twin department. Some people will say they are babies sometimes, but that's because of the PMCT that we, PMTCT that we do, we try to also give some medication, try to protect the women and also make sure that we get good babies. This synergy between our departments, working together across all disciplines, ensures that the care that we provide is comprehensive, holistic, and actually truly life-changing. And the achievement you made over the past 20 years are a testament to the strength and resilience of the multi-sectoral group that we have. And we look forward to continuing our partnership to support the health and future of these young lives. As you reflect on your remarkable journey, please know that the Department of Obs and Gynae stands with you, ready to contribute to the continuous success of the care that you provide. And together, we will keep working towards a world like Kolebu, where every child, no matter the circumstances, has access to care, love, and opportunity that they deserve. On behalf of our Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, I extend our deepest gratitude to the tireless work you do every day, especially for our babies that we send to you. Of course, all the babies that you take care, we send them to you. We stand in solidarity with you in your mission, and we look forward to continuing our partnership with you in the years ahead. Once again, congratulations on this remarkable milestone. May your dedication continue to inspire all of us as you do. And may the next 20 years bring even more success and progress in the fight against HIV in the pediatric population and beyond. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Chairman, all protocol duly observed. I stand here on behalf of Dr. Catherine Sebefia to bring the department's greetings and to congratulate the Pediatric HIV Clinic for 20 years. And I have to address Prof. Bonsafo's comment that we didn't acknowledge the obstetricians. We sincerely apologize for that. Where will we be without you? If I don't apologize, you can chase Niku from obstetrics third floor today and I will have nowhere to go to work. So we duly apologize and please accept our apologies. So in the words of Dr. Sebefia, immediately I told her about this program and she was really sad that she will not be here to give an address. But what she said that really stuck with me was the fact that the clinic has contributed a lot to the whole department. In terms of infrastructure, she told me that the special clinic area was funded, as in the building was funded by part of the grant from the clinic in the HIV clinic. She also mentioned the pioneers and how they worked so hard. I can't forget always meeting Prof. Rena on the corridor and she telling me about how she has to juggle HIV clinic and the wards and coming very early, and also Prof. Goka, all the people that they have mentored. So the clinic has been very, very valuable to the department It has also been valuable to the hospital and helped the hospital in providing excellent care. It has also been a source of hope for family members and patients. I remember my first interaction that I can really remember into HIV was as a house officer. We had to spend a month in the unit in medicine, internal medicine, and all we do was to take samples for people with HIV a whole month. Initially, I was scared, but once I get to know them and really get to know their stories, I had to put my fear aside. And then as a house officer in pediatrics, I came across a set of twins who were delivered vaginally. The first twin had HIV, the second twin didn't have HIV. And it really broke my heart because there was a clear difference between the first twin who was with us and the second twin. And once I got into residency and had training and, run the clinic, HIV clinic in Nigeria, and then came back here, Prof. Rena brought me into the clinic. I was really happy to be a part of the clinic. And the children have been amazing. The staff have been amazing. So it really gives hope to the family and the children. Moving forward, I know that there will still be a lot of great things that will be done through the clinic, especially with the infectious disease fellowship. We have fellows doing research in the clinic, and I know with research, we'll be able to change a lot. And I pray that the clinic will continue to go forward. We are all hoping for a time where there will be a cure and even a vaccine for HIV. And we all look forward to that day. So thank you all very, very much. And as we continue, pray that we learn more and we'll be able to impact our various centers, like the speaker from the Ghana AIDS Commission mentioned. We need to be able to replicate this achievement, not just in Kolebu, but across Ghana. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Paul Mensah. I think it's obvious on the screen. I represent Indus Life Sciences. The focus of this presentation is not to bore you with a lot of stuff, but just to encourage you, and also because most of the slides, I think, happened in the Zoom meeting. But just a few thoughts I want to share with you what happened at the office when we were invited to sponsor this program. The theme for this program is what? Pediatric HIV care. In fact, we are proud sponsors of pediatric conferences in Ghana. I think everybody will attest to that. And we will continue to do that as a company. But this response to the invitation this year was exceptional. My director, our boss is here, Mr. Prem Kumar. When the invitation came, he was very prompt to respond to this sponsorship because it's in line with our global agenda, the vision of this company, committed to what? Child care. That's the reason why the first product launched in Ghana was Zincovit. And we have a focus of reaching every corner of Ghana, every child, with the nutritive benefits of Zincovit. We have another product as well. Now, you look ahead and it brings to mind our global agenda of what? SDG, the Sustainable Development Goal, of making sure we eradicate what? HIV by 2030. That is why Zincovit and another product called AminoPep has successfully been launched in other Francophone West Africa countries, as well as Anglophone. But Ghana, we have a special focus, like I said, every child. Now, it's all about HIV care and support. In our side, it's a support. So we have these products. Please, let's not forget that we are marketers, so we want to reiterate. So it's about what? Adequate supplementation of micronutrients as far as your patient's healthcare. It's a comprehensive healthcare. ART is doing a lot. But we believe that if you get the right nutrition in terms of macronutrients and micronutrients, that is what is very, very important. You know a lot about Zincovit, but the dosage forms are two, the syrup and the drops. So it can be given, and it has enormous benefit. In fact, we believe that there are a lot of benefits of Zincovit that children are yet to benefit. So please don't stop, continue writing. All right. Then another product, which is also not new in the market, but I believe we have come to you in the clinic to promote it to you, is our essential amino acid preparation, Zincovit. It doesn't contain any iron. Zincovit does not contain any iron. This one is just 10 essential amino acids with minerals and vitamins. That one gives the patient also the nutritive support that you need. So what we are saying as a company is partner with us for this holistic care. Partner with us. Every year, if I think my face should be familiar by now, I've been coming to these conferences to promote and also to strengthen you of our supports. Next year, I believe that we will still be here, and the following year, we will still be here. So please, we assure you that please, as stakeholders, proud stakeholders in this agenda of ensuring that they get good care and access to treatment, let's partner together so that it will also derive the maximum benefit from Indo's brands. Other products that we also want to share with you is our cough range. We have 3 ranges, depending on how they are responding to the product. We have one called Viscoff Plain. Most doctors call it Viscoff Plain, or some also call it Viscoff F, but it's just Viscoff, but just to differentiate from the other brands. So this one is just a blend of ambroxol and guaifenesin for those who actually does not respond well or hypersensitive to salbutamol. Viscoff S is there also for productive cough. So if they are hypersensitive to salbutamol, then you switch to the Viscoff plain. Then we also have for dry allergic cough, Viscoff D. So just to remind you, please, they are all available in the market. And the last one is our dress range. I think it's also a common product that everybody should know for wound dressing. It's a product that leaves no chances when it comes to polymicrobe infections. So dress powder, dress solution, and dress ointment. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question, please, I'm here, you can ask. Any question at all? Yes. If it's sponsorship.
Thank you so much, Indus Life Services. Please let's give them a hand again. Right. So at this moment, I once again want to acknowledge our sponsors, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, the Department of Child Health, Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Services, National AIDS Control Programs, Paediatric Society of Ghana, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and Indus Life Sciences. Well, so next we'll have a 5 minutes period of drumming and dancing as we prepare ourselves for an interview. It's actually a documentary concerning pediatric HIV in the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. I wonder if anyone here can try. Wow. Okay. So next we are going to have a documentary, and I would want us to sit back, relax, enjoy it, learn, take some pointers. The last phrase I want to say, I won't say it now. But let's enjoy this documentary.
I'm Mercy Victoria Mpedu, DCNO in charge of public health, child health. That goes way back 2004 that I joined public child health, but I qualify as a public health personnel in 2009, and since then, as a public health nurse, I've been assisting the HIV programs. Our main role is to do counseling. So we do pre-counseling, post-counseling, and then nutritional aspect we counseling. Adherence to treatment, we do assist the pharmacists to do the counseling too.
Has the field of public health changed the care of pediatric HIV over the years?
It has changed a lot. Over the years that public health wasn't doing the RDTs, the mothers were having a challenge going through reference lab, and but since public health came in and we started doing the RDT, the oral quick and other things, it makes the diagnosis faster. It lays the mother's anxiety also, because we do the pre-counseling and then the post-counseling well. We do the follow-up. We have a routine follow-up, and then we sometimes use the telephone follow-up. The routine, I mean, we go to the house, verify the house, go to the house, see what the house looks like, and then give them moral support at the house. So when going, we most of the time be in the mufti, so that it makes the work, I mean, and then we do telephone also follow-up. We call them. Those who are defaulting, we talk to them, we counsel them, we make sure they adhere to the treatment regime. And I think public health in the care of HIV has helped a lot. Gone are the days that the children don't grow over a certain age, and now you could see the adolescent, they are being a grown-up. So with the counseling and the follow-ups, we have helped a lot. And the nutritional counseling, we do help the nutritional aspect of the babies, like exclusive breastfeeding up to 6 months without food. We educate them why they should do that, because misfeeding can also bring about the child exposing to the HIV virus faster. So we educate them to do exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months, continue till 1 year, then they can, after 1 year, they stop. But before 6 months to 1 year, they can add food. But before the 6 months, we make sure they do exclusive. Or those who think they can afford to do formula, we also educate them how they should go about the formula for the child not to get diarrhea along the line. So the nutritional aspect of the care is also paramount at the public health units.
I was told when I was 10 years old. No, I had no idea about it. I was very sad and feeling quite depressed. Well, I'm really grateful for my support system as they have made this journey quite bearable. Well, I have plans to further my education and improve in my career and also hopefully get married and have wonderful children. My advice to children with this infection will be, don't lose hope, adhere to your medications, and come for the regular checkups. My advice to them is to stay safe and get tested if you haven't. And also to our mothers to get tested and detect this disease early so that the necessary things can be done to help alleviate it. Oh, for our caregivers, my advice is to engage the children regularly, ensure that they adhere to the medications, and involve them in the daily activities of the household. And also to our pediatricians, I'll encourage them to take every opportunity to counsel and advise our young ones. And also for the government, any way to make our labs cheaper or even free will be appreciated. And ensuring that our drugs are readily available for use.
I was told somewhere around 2012 or 11, thereabouts. I was 13 or 12, maybe. Yes, I found out on television. That was National AIDS Day at that time. And I saw my medications on TV. And so I asked my dad about it. And then he told me, so we came to the clinic to confirm, like for me to be disclosed to like. Okay, I was very young at that time, but there was no fear. I was just fine with it. The journey hasn't been easy because once upon a time, I defaulted. But I just know I'm like every other person. And so it keeps me moving because right now I don't have any fear or I don't look down on myself. I'm very much okay. And so I'll say for now, the journey has been good. My plans for the future, I am a fashion designer now, but I want to go higher in my career. I want to get into other aspects of fashion. I want to broaden my field. And just like every other person, I have plans of starting a family. Okay, an advice to my friends, my brothers, my sisters, everyone with this infection, every child with this infection, I would advise them that they don't look down upon themselves. They should just know we are like every other person. There's nothing to fear. All we need to do is take our medications very well on time. We eat well, and then come to the clinic for our reviews. And that's all. It's more like being on vitamins to survive. So all we have to do is have faith in ourselves and carry ourselves just like the world expects us to carry ourselves. Like we should have fun. No child should ever let this be a block to them in their lives. Okay, to those without this infection, if they ever get to find out about their peers with this infection, they should know that it doesn't make any difference. The only difference is they are on medications for, like, let's say their entire life until we get a cure, of course. So we are just like every other person. So if you have any friend, any family member with this infection, just know that all you have to do is be normal around that person. Don't discriminate. And we should learn more. Those who are not in this with us, those who are not infected, they should learn more. It's all about learning. The more we learn, the more we get to know how to handle people with this infection. They should all open their arms to people with this infection. And as time goes on, I believe that we all will understand each other. And they should also take care of themselves very well not to get this infection, because it's not an easy journey and it's not nice. So that's the advice I have for them. Okay, to stakeholders, I wish they would advocate more on HIV. I wish in our country, HIV would just be spoken about, just like malaria, just like cholera, just like any other disease, any other infection. That is what I wish for. And so I pray they do more education. They open more doors, more programs for young people coming in order for them to understand this infection, so that in, let's say, 10 years to come, somebody with this infection wouldn't have to hide, wouldn't have to be cautious of their whereabouts of their medications if somebody will find out what they have and all that. So I'm hoping and praying that they work on their advocacy and education. I pray that they make things more open for everyone to be accepted, everyone with this infection to be accepted in the society. Thank you.
I think in about, let's say, 2002, 2003, we started having children coming on admission with severe AIDS, and after they'd been treated for the opportunistic infections and they were sent home, they were seen once or twice in the clinic, outpatient clinic, but there was no dedicated clinic. And then about 2003 too, they'd started the maternal prevention of mother to child transmission, PNTCT. So babies were born and there was no really formal follow-up for them. So there was a need, and we hadn't really had much of a training, just a bit of, a few workshops here and there. So I decided to take it upon myself to approach our head of department and, the senior members. And at one of our departmental meetings, it was agreed that we should start the HIV pediatric clinic. And this was going to be the first one in the country. That was in 2004. Unfortunately, I got another senior member, Prof. Goka, who also agreed to help in the clinic. And we had some very good, excellent pharmacists in the name of Obide Sineke. She was a gem and one of our cornerstones of the success of this clinic over the years. And she's still with us, thanks to her. And so I wrote a proposal to Kolebu management and also to the National AIDS Control Program, because we needed their support. They needed to create a space for us and also furnish it and give us the various logistics. And they accepted, they agreed. And together with Family Health International, which was really into HIV, they renovated a space downstairs opposite the child health laboratory, close to the new pharmacy now. So there was nothing there. They renovated it, everything. So then, and we decided that we'd start the clinic on a Wednesday. And so that's how it started in 2004, July 2004 to be specific. And fortunately, the clinic area was available on other days to all the other clinics, you know, the neurodevelopmental, cardiac, and all the rest. So that was a benefit. And so we had quite a number of children coming in with frank, you know, clinical features of advanced, you know, HIV, unfortunately, to start off with. And those days, for a child to be put on antiretroviral therapy, the CD4 count had to be less than 200. Yes. And so, unfortunately, some of the children, you know, we didn't start ARVs until a bit too late. Unlike now, everyone is put on as soon as they are diagnosed because people were concerned about the long-term effects of treatment and the rest. And there was a lot that wasn't that much known about childhood HIV. And together with Prof. Goka, we were able to start the clinic. We got the doctors involved, the nurses, and our pharmacists, dedicated pharmacists, and it's been ongoing since then. I mean, one of our first cases was on the ward, a young boy, about 8-9 years, who had cardiomyopathy as well as a result of HIV/AIDS. And we hadn't really started. He was the very first child that we put on antiretroviral. We were just crying. We thought he might not make it. So we said, well, we had nothing to lose. He might survive and the rest. Fortunately, within a few months, he was a different child, very active, walking, running, playing football, you know, now, and no other signs or symptoms, you know, of cardiomyopathy. And fortunately, he was able to go to one of the best secondary schools in the country. And he's in his 20s now. Yes, so that's a good story about that. Then there have been other challenges, but then we took them all as opportunities to build on, to improve our service. And we've involved various people along the way when it's been necessary, even including the police, high command, when we had to track a child who had been, in quotes, stolen from their foster parents by other relatives who had come from another country. They weren't aware that the child had HIV and both parents were dead, and they had taken this child away. We knew the risk that this child would not make it without the antiretroviral therapy. Fortunately, the police did extremely well. We were able to locate the guardians who had taken the child, and we were able to counsel them, and there was a good ending. At least we were able to let them go with the antiretroviral therapy, and they understood how to take good care of the child and follow up in clinic where they were going to stay. Yes. And from there, I think pediatric HIV has grown. There in other clinics opened in other parts of the country, and we have clinics in almost all the primary health facilities now in the country. And we have children who, when they came in, they were babies, and now they are in their 20s, you know, and they're doing so well, and we're so pleased about that. Yes, etc. And when we did start the clinic, you know, a new clinic, we had to develop protocols and guidelines, and that's one thing that was done very early on, you know, and we helped develop the data collection. We had a separate booklet for them, which really helped with the recording of the clinical features along the way and recording their laboratory features as well for to improve care. And with the good, I think, guidelines that we wrote down and the training, you know, we really were dedicated. The team was dedicated. The team was really dedicated. And so we trained the junior doctors. It was a very good training opportunity, and they've continued since then. We've produced infectious disease consultants through that, et cetera, et cetera. Yes. Okay. Thank you. "20 years on, Well, with all good things, let's say for me, I mean, with all good things, after all, you have to train others for them to take over. So right now, there are others in the clinic who have taken over the clinic, and they're doing an excellent job there. Now, with more of AI and the rest, we have to think of how we can, utilize AI to improve our services in the clinic. So we're hoping that within the next 20 years, we'll go along with the digitalization and, the AI, everything to improve childhood cancer services. But having said that, there's been a transition in the clinic. When we started, we had a lot of children who came in symptomatic and clinically ill, and not too many coming from the PMTCT, but as it's continued, we had fewer children coming in with HIV and more coming for surveillance and for follow-up from the PMTC clinic, who we realized that most of them were not infected. Only less than 10%. Sorry, not less than 10%. I think less than 5% of those born to mothers who had HIV became infected. So that was a success story of the PMTCT. So usually after a while, by 18 months, we're able to discharge the children from the clinic. So the clinic numbers have gone down, which is positive, which is very good. And there are fewer infected children. It's now more following up children born to mothers with who are positive. So we're hoping to have no children coming in with HIV, just as in the US, now they only have 1 or 2 children in each clinic, So you have to have with effective PMTCT and other messages. We hope we won't have well, I suppose for working purposes, that might the health workers, would I say, in some cases, like a disease such as that, if you're able to prevent, it's good. It's really good. Yes. So the fewer the cases in the clinic, the better it is. So I think we need to do more with regards to prevention.
It really was very sad. And I remember one patient of ours who happened to be related to one of our senior doctors at that time. He was unwell with heart failure and things, and eventually we diagnosed that he had HIV. And at that time, there was no treatment for children in Ghana, but the adult treatment had started. So it was more like, okay, this is a death sentence. We are waiting, supporting him so the inevitable happens. But this relative of his was a doctor here, pushed us, and so he consulted with the adult side. And he was about 6 years old or so. So we consulted with the adult side and were able to get medications from the adult service for him. And I tell you, over some weeks, there was just a transformation. His heart failure began to come under control and all. And he actually, now I don't know where he is, but he actually went to the university eventually. And it was such an encouragement to us that the children too can be treated if things are made available. So when there was the opportunity to start a clinic here, we were happy, and having had that experience of such success, to take it on so that the children also could benefit from whatever care. Of course, the care at that time wasn't as good as it is now. One thing which used to irk me was people would often talk about the rights of the adults with HIV and never touch on the rights of the children as well. So, for example, they would say, and rightly so, that the adult has a right to have a child like anybody else. But then people were not thinking about what about the child if he happens to be born with it. But we thank God that because we had a clinic in place and PMTCT came on board at least quite a number of children were being born non-infected, and then even those who were infected, we could, give them a chance, give them a better quality of life. So we are 20 years old, and that's a great achievement, but our children don't have the ultimate care. There isn't yet 100% prevention of transmission from mother to child, and also even the adolescents and other age groups too. There are still some getting infected. So we need to be able to put in measures so that there can be 100% prevention. And as new therapies come up and even a cure, we should be able to access that for our children also, not just in Accra, but all over the country and all over the world. The mentality of sort out the adults first and then think about the children should become a thing of the past.
I would say no, because in the early years of HIV, there was nothing like antiretroviral therapy. So those who tested positive were given supportive care. What we did was to manage their symptoms as and when possible and also give them continuous counseling. Then in the early years of 2000, Ghana had its first antiretroviral medications with the help of UNICEF, WHO, and also Ministry of Health. But these medications were piloted in limited facilities, making it difficult for most of our people to access the medications. And the medications at that time were also not child-friendly. They targeted more of the adults. So I remember in the early ages, we had to cut tablets, cut adult preparations for these children. And some of the tablets had to be cut in either 5 pieces or sometimes 6. Meanwhile, the medications were not made to be broken, but we had no option. We had to save the lives of these little ones. And the sad aspect was when caregivers had to crush these medications and give it to them. The taste was unpalatable, but what can they do? They had no option than to give it to them to survive. 20 years on, we've come this far. I hope to see more committed health professionals in all the regions and also districts who can manage children, not only adults. Most of them, their focus is more on the adults, but we hope to see people who will be committed to our future leaders. Then the caregivers, we want responsible caregivers, because some of them, I don't know whether because the children is not their direct offspring, they don't really give them the needed care. So we need responsible caregivers who adhere to the children's medications. And also, if we can get more child-friendly medications, especially the one that will improve adherence, maybe once a month medication or maybe once every 6 months. If we don't have a cure, at least this ones can really improve adherence in our children. Then also, I think we should strengthen our PMTCT. It's very, very important because it's sad in these years we are still getting babies turning out to be positive. So the PMTCT should be strengthened so that we don't get positive children again. Then what else? I think, yes, that's about all.
I'm Mercy Victoria Mpedu, DCNO in charge of public health, child health.
Thank you very much. So those were messages from some of our pioneers of the clinic and some of our survivors or warriors HIV. So, I mean, after watching all this, it's a good time to recognize these ones who have been so instrumental in bringing us this far. So, I have the honor to read a bit about them, and then we'll present them with something that. So this is a token of our appreciation. We can't. Words fail us. If we say we want to really show up, words fail us. So this is a token of our appreciation to you for all your sacrifices and everything you've done to ensure that pediatric HIV is where it is now. So to begin with, I would want to recognize our program manager of the National AIDS Control Program, Dr. Stephen A.C. Edu, and to present him with this gift would be our acting HOD, Dr. Evelyn Amoa. So, Dr. Isiado, this is to say thank you so much for all that you've done in the fight against HIV/AIDS and your love for the children. Thank you so, so much. Next, we would want to recognize another person. She is in the person of Professor Dr. Lorna Aworena, and to present her gifts is the head of department of the Infectious Disease Center, Professor Peter Popolampo. Thank you so much, Prof. Rena, for all you do, all you did, all you are doing, and all that you continue to do in the fight against HIV/AIDS. Thank you. So next, we would want to also recognize the role of Professor Bamala Goka, and her gifts will be presented by the Acting Chief Nursing Officer of the Department of Child Health, Madam Harriet Clufield. Thank you so much, Prof. Goka, for your investments, for your sacrifices in the fight against pediatric HIV infection. Would also want to recognize our amazing pharmacist Obidia, and to present her gifts would be Dr. Joycelyn Asemen-Damin. Thank you so much, Auntie Obidia, for good work done, excellent work done. Thank you for your sacrifices and your investment in fighting against pediatric HIV infection. And then finally, we would also want to acknowledge a very special person. He's an amazing person. He used to take the lab samples. You call him, he would come to the ward. Wherever the patient is, he's going to come. Even if as a pediatrician you are struggling with the line, he will readily come and set the line and tell you that, Doc, if it ever tissues, call me. I'll come and set another line. Ladies and gentlemen, I would really want to humbly ask that with a standing ovation, we acknowledge our dear Mr. Sampson, very instrumental in the pediatric HIV clinic. He's been very instrumental in the pediatric HIV clinic. He's always there to support. All the older children know him, the older caregivers know him. So we'll walk and present this to him. Mr. Sampson, we say thank you so much. We know it's a very emotional time for you, but thank you so much for your investments. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Thank you so much for your fight against pediatric HIV infection. Thank you. Please, we may take our seats. Wow. So all too soon, we are coming to the end of a beautiful program. And so at this juncture, I would want to invite our chairperson to come and give us his closing remarks, after which we'll receive the vote of thanks from Dr. Gladys Lomuti.
Thank you very much, Dr. Agri. Oh, I think we should put our hands together for Dr. Agri for this great job. And I think that, in fact, I'm so touched that I'm emotional. I'm not an emotional person, as some of you know, but the children have made me shed tears. And this is very inspiring. We're not all there at the beginning. I recall we joined the boat somewhere along the line. And I'm very happy to be part of this history. Throughout today, I've seen passion. Taking care of the children is about passion. Taking care of people living with HIV, if you don't have the passion, you can't do that. If it's about the children, you need to have patience. Without patience and perseverance, you cannot be a great caregiver for the children and for people living with HIV. If you want to take care of children, you must be available. If you are not available, if you are not there, they said Ovidia was always there. For your information, Ovidia was also my schoolmate in primary school. So please, the people you begin with, pray that God will grant you the grace to continue and end with them. So you cannot be a good caregiver or provider of care for the children if you don't show empathy. If you are not empathetic, if you don't get involved, if you are not, it's not just about sympathy, it's empathy, you being part of it. You have to be passionate, you have to be available for them, you have to be empathetic. My big brother, Prof, don't leave, because I have a tribute for you. So please wait and let me finish before. I beg you. Head of department, put your hands together for him. The next D defines people like him. The D in pediatrics is dedication. If you are not dedicated to duty, you are not disciplined, you will not be able to do a good job. These are people who have dedicated their lives to ensure that some people have lived. I can see inclusivity here, including everybody, not leaving any child out. If you take it for granted that that child with cardiomyopathy is because of something else, you don't think big HIV. If you don't think that that child deserves a little more attention and you leave people out, you will miss the people. But I'm so excited to see the apprenticeship here. you can see the generations, the teachers, the next group of people, those who are in charge today. And that all works together to ensure sustainable care. Until such a time that we don't even have one case, there will be somebody who will be keeping the data and still reporting that 3 years, 4 years down the line, we have achieved elimination of mother-to-child transmission. There is an end to pediatric AIDS in Ghana. I see teamwork. Did you see the teamwork? Do you see the teamwork? Did you observe the teamwork? It was very palpable. And for those who join us later, today is an open day and exhibition of the great works that have happened. So teamwork is key. If we have to be successful, we must work as a team so that we can keep some people alive. Without teamwork, the telephone calls would be ineffective. But I noticed that within the teamwork is the relationship. Oh, head of department, ONG. I agree with you, and I thank Dr. Amwa for apologizing. Because I remember people like Joyce, who has retired, in charge, and many other midwives and nurses who started the work before the children came to pedics. And I want to encourage all of you to look at the next 3 decades. Maybe ONG should lead 30 years of care. But let me inform you that in 2 years' time, we'll be celebrating 4 decades of the first time we found the HIV case in Ghana. So take advantage. The event organized by PDIX will be organized by either you or Professor, my big brother, Professor Popolampo. And rest assured that we will support you, we'll be your partner. Because we have to remember, we have to document. All that we did was history. I don't know why I didn't like history. It was not one of my favorite. But it was when I did public health and I realized that all that we are doing, literature review, is history. Trying to document is to make sure that we don't forget, because you build on history. So the relationship between the departments is very key. And I told acting CEO that after this meeting, he has to call a meeting of all of you. So Dr. Jocelyn Dame, please make sure you see Prof. Popolampo, you see ONG head, and let's have a meeting about HIV business in Kolebu. So that the CD4 machines, the gene specs and the PCR machines, where there are challenges, Kolebu will solve it. So that everything will be seamless. You will not suffer shortage of even A4 sheets. I see intelligence here. I see how intellectual we've been and how that has been supported by the research, and the data and everything. And how through our investment in these children, some of them are intelligent. They have become stars, educated intellectuals. You have created a future for these children. I noticed that you cannot do all of this without charity. Love. If you don't care about the people, the C in pediatrics is care, is charity. If you don't have love, you can't do these things. You cannot stay extra hours when you have closed to take care of that child. And love is everything, isn't it? Love is bigger than HIV. We believe that we can end the epidemic with love. Turn to somebody and say, I love you. But I love the kids more. The last word in pediatrics is sacrifice. And at this juncture, I want us to be on our feet again, standing ovation, to appreciate the sacrifice of all the people who have. Let's put our hands together for yourselves and for all the heroes and the heroines who have been part of this journey, this success story that has brought us far. We are proud of you as a program, as a service, Ghana Health Service, as a Ministry of Health, all the stakeholders in HIV. On behalf of all of them, I stand here as the chief servant of the National AIDS Control Program and commend you and bless you. God bless you all for the great achievement. And please, if you ever want to give up, don't ever give up if you have your own personal problems because of what God has used you to achieve. I look forward to greater collaboration with you all. We have taken note of this, and I assure you that all the content we've generated here will be uploaded on our new electronic library, and we are going to make sure that we project it. The clinic started with the program. It will continue with the program. We'll close it with the program. However, we will continue to collaborate with you for research and all the things like we're doing now. And rest assured that in addition to all the recognition, we have additional plans for you. God richly bless you. And I want to thank you all who made it to this program. I want to appreciate your support and presence, Professor, all the professors of Furiata and everybody here. I really, really, really commend you. And I ask for the 5 P's. What are the 5 P's for you? The first is that I pray that God will provide all your needs according to his riches in glory. His provision will be abundant upon you. The second P is that I ask that God is going to protect all of you. Because of the good things you have done, he will protect your interest. He will protect you, your going out and your coming. Because of your passion, he will protect you. The third P is that I ask that irrespective of what you are going through, his peace will fill your heart and mind. In everything you do, when you are stressed, taking care of HIV is a stressful job. But everything, when you go and come, let your peace, the peace, dwell with you all. What is the next thing? I pray that the power of God, miracles, will overflow in your life and the families that you belong to. Between now and 31st, there will be miracles. And the last but not the least, the presence of God. Because in the presence of God, there is life, expressions of his love, and revelations of his power and might. These 5 P's I leave with you. And I want you to hold on to it with faith. Your labor for HIV will never be in vain. And if people say, God bless you, the children and all that, it will multiply beyond financial resources. We want to thank you all for coming today, for making this open day and exhibition a memorable occasion. Because Christmas is around the corner, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Afishapa. God bless you. Thank you very much. Please take your seat.
Thank you so much. My job is almost done. Actually, I don't think I should come back and do this. Thank you so much. And before I still have to do it, so before I do so, I'd like to kindly acknowledge the presence of our former head of department, Professor Christabel Norunulai. Please. Thank you so much for your presence. So, it's my singular honor to still do this job. I want to thank the Almighty God for bringing us this far, for giving us life to be part of this august occasion and to witness this beautifully done. We are here because we have lives, so we thank God for that. We also want to thank our chairman, who just handed over, and the support we've given as Dr. Isiedo. We are grateful to the provost, acting CEO, acting head of department. In fact, though they are gone, they made time to be here with us. So we are grateful to them, and we hope they'll hear this gratitude. We thank you also our acting head of department, Dr. Amoa, and all heads of departments who have taken time off their busy schedules to be here with us. We are very grateful. To the institutional reps, we are extremely grateful that you took time off to be here. We thank you for your presence. And our distinguished guests, the list is very tall. We can't mention all, but you know yourselves. We are very grateful as well. We want to mention a few people though we acknowledge all of you and appreciate your presence here. We start with our sponsors. We had some sponsors, but these are the main ones we want to acknowledge currently. We have the Indus Life Sciences, we have National AIDS Control Program, and we have the Paediatric Society of Ghana. Also, as we have heard, we had trailblazers for this clinic, and we cannot also end without thanking them. So we acknowledge our special pioneers as well. They have been instrumental in organizing this event. So we still need to mention their names. We have Professor Lorna Rena, we have Professor Pamela Goka, we have Obidia Senior K, and we also want to acknowledge our HOD, Dr. Catherine Sebefia, who, though not here, has adequately represented. We also acknowledge the Pediatric HIV Clinic staff. Please give it up to them, give it up to them, give it up to them. They are just so wonderful. They pulled this off nicely. It's bigger than we even thought. Well done. Also to Kolebu PR team, we can see them taking pictures, and we know that they will be publishing on their Kolebu page and to go viral as well. Thank you very much, PR team. And also to the media, we have TV3, we have Daily Graphic, we have Peace FM. Yes, shall we give it up to them too? Knowing they will let us go viral today as well. We have the PA system, we are thankful that we can be heard and heard clearly. Thank you, all of you. And of course, as we heard the stories, people have been at the clinic. We couldn't acknowledge everybody. We couldn't put all pictures there. We thank our past and present staff, all who have made it possible for this clinic to come this far. If you have not been mentioned, please, you know yourself. Just know that we can't put everybody's name here, but we are very grateful for all you have done. And to all who have made it here today, thank you. Our dear children, the caregivers of our children, we thank you. We pray for good life, good health. And please, before we all go, let's all affirm our determination to what we are doing. I want you all to say in your heads and hearts that you're going to make this happen. So please, let's continue to take the right path. By in doing so, let's all continue to work hard to eliminate mother-to-child transmission of HIV. Let's break barriers and build futures. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, PM. Thank you very much, Dr. Lumute. So we are done, but we are not done. So from here, after the closing prayer, please don't be quick to leave. We want to take some pictures, put it in our archives, so that when we come 10 years, 20 years, and we are showing the pictures, you can locate yourself somewhere, and everybody will be excited and laugh and smile. All right. You're also reminded that we have certain things on display. Some of the works are visual artworks that have been done by some of our patients. There are paintings, there are crafts work. So please make sure you go, you look, and you purchase something. All proceeds go to them. And also in the clinic, we have some things on display. We have key rings, we have mugs that have been branded Pediatric HIV Clinic at 20. I will entreat all of us to get at least a mug or a key ring so that 10 years from now, when you pick up the t-shirt, when you're drinking your tea, you look at it, see pediatric, yes, I was there. All right, so we'll have the closing prayer by our nurse specialist, Madam Ejewa Kufu. This has been Dr. Iceland Agri, your MC. Have a blessed day.
Shall we rise and have a prayer? Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for giving us a wonderful day like this. We thank you for an atmosphere that was able to bring everybody together to celebrate us. We are grateful for today, for how splendid the program has become. We are thankful. We pray that our invited guests who came from far and near, as they go, you go with them and protect them. We are thankful for today, and we say glory be unto your holy name. Amen.